Data Rooney. Okay.
Oh boy, you can
All right.
just see my stressed ass face.
All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Waffle Talk, the show where we talk about dice camera action, which, as you know, is a show that's on the D&D Twitch channel every week, run by Chris Perkins. So today we are going to talk about dice camera action episode 141. But now, before we get to that, I think there was an incident in real life that we should probably discuss, and I would be happy to hear anybody in the chat. You got any comments on this?
Oh boy.
Let me know. Just be civil, okay? Don't use swears. Try to just say how you feel more than anything else, because I'm interested in what the reaction to this whole thing is going to be and how it is going to affect the show, if at all. Okay? So first, I'm just going to run down real quick what happened, okay? Then I'm going to ask Shauna and Dylan what they think, and then we're going to go from there, okay? We will talk about episode 141, but there's going to be a bit of a period. I think when I put the YouTube in, I'll try to make a timestamp like Dylan does, which is so useful on my Dungeon of the Mad Mage. All right. So, this is all very recent, right? This stuff happened yesterday, right?
Last night at like 10.
Last night.
Our time.
So,
yeah.
Observe. On the Twitter, Jared posted this comment about how he's filing for divorce with Heidi, his wife. And you can read it. Therapy, well-being, we can exit this marriage with style and grace, right? And it's like, okay, whatever, he's getting married, right? And so then his wife posts this comment, which I have partially censored because we are a family-friendly stream. Heidi says, I recently learned that my husband, ProJared, has been messing around with Holly behind my back for months. I have no idea what announcement he just made because he blocked me. And then there is a screenshot of the blocking. And then from there, it has been utter chaos. I mean, I knew nothing about this. I woke up at 7 this morning. And, I read Reddit in the morning. It's on the front page of Reddit, this story. And it's been trending on Twitter from the moment I woke up to right now, 12 hours later.
Yep.
And one thing that happened was on the Dice Camera Action subreddit, they have banned discussion of this entire topic. And that right now, if you post something on the subreddit, it has to be approved by a mod. Some other things that have happened. I don't know. Really. Well, we learned more about Jared. There's
a lot.
Apparently Jared has posted nudes and he Snapchats people and gets stuff from them. I don't know. And there's pictures of Jared out there. And apparently a couple 16-year-old girls have had inappropriate interactions with ProJared. And so crazy things have been happening. I mean, I believe right now on Twitch, there's a channel devoted to nothing but watching ProJared Diaz, his YouTube channel's subscriber list go down. It dropped below 1 million, and it's been dropping all day. And then there's people on ProJared's Twitch stream, and he's not streaming, but they're there just bad-mouthing him. And on his own subreddit, they took away his mod status, and he's not a mod on his own subreddit, and they're bashing him in his own subreddit, right? So it has been a really crazy day for Dice Camera Action fans, and I know a lot of people just went off Twitter. They don't even want to look at it. They don't really know what to think or what to do. And so it just so happens that Waffle Talk is today.
I know.
And so, Shauna, why don't you? What do you feel about this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this it's not good. I personally feel like stuff is too fresh, too new. There's a lot of ugly stuff happening around this, and me personally, it's not until things kind of, it's not my place to comment on any of this. Whatever happens with it, we'll find out, or there will be action. Who knows? Like, but personally, stuff between people think that's their thing, and I just want to say that despite everything happening, there's a lot of emotions happening around here between the fandom and everyone kind of like tangentially involved with dice camera action, and everyone's allowed to feel how they feel. Yeah, but don't be shitty to each other over this. Don't be shitty in general. Especially don't harass this. I saw a little bit of this. Don't harass people in the community that are here tangentially involved, which specifically artists that have done Diath artwork or Strix artwork. Don't, for the love of God, don't harass them. They did nothing, and that's all I like.
How could you harass somebody who
for me?
They didn't know.
Yeah, for me, it's just they
just made art of a character they like. They didn't know this was going on.
Yeah, really.
And that's honestly, that's where I kind of want to leave it. As far I don't even want to discuss like what's going on. I just want stuff it'll come about, but just everyone's kind of hurting a little bit, and just treat each other, have each other's backs, and don't be shitty.
Yeah, Holly made her Twitter private just a couple hours ago because people are just going nuts, in all directions. So, Dylan, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Oh boy. Well, hey, as someone with personal experience being cheated on and used and stuff like that, it's really fucking gross. First of all, that's the big thing. I will say, when I first read Heidi's Jared's wife's tweets, a lot of the stuff she said, I mean, nasty, but I don't think she has any right not to be nasty. But the tweets rang really familiar to me, like shit I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, as far as like what DCA and like Wizards does from here, it's really honestly, I would get rid of Jared and Holly. Honestly,
you would?
Yeah, I mean, really, that's as simple as that for me. And I before this shit, I fucking loved Diath and Strix and their relationship and stuff. But right now, it's just kind of like disgusting to think about.
It's so weird now because so much of the show revolves around Diath and Strix's relationship, and now it's when you see them, it's totally changed. As a viewer, it's in your head.
Yeah.
All right. So Dylan, do you have any other thoughts before I jump into these comments?
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, but we should do the comments because they're probably not family friendly.
There's a lot of comments in here, so I'm just going to try to grab some that have already gone by real quick. Richard Hayward is feeling shocked. Richard, you had said to me on Twitter that you couldn't even watch episode 141. So I'd like definitely to hear more about why you felt that way, and if anybody else feels the same way. Anna watches Twitch. Everything is terrible, and I want a hug. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, all right. You get virtual hugs from the entire Waffle fam. And Psionics the Hedgehog posted F, and I believe, if I'm up on my young people slang, that F is for paying respects, right? So,
Yep.
Let's see if I got that right. Look at your butt. I certainly hope they're going to distance. This is crazy. I certainly hope they're going to distance themselves from Jared and probably Holly, unless she changes her stance. The idea of getting. Okay, let me ask you this. If you get rid of Strix and Diath, can you even continue the show? Could you just replace them with two other people? Or would you have to start over with something new?
I just don't think so at this point, honestly.
Because there's so many
At where we are
storylines going right now.
now,
There's so much like the Lorcatha and we've been waiting
yeah,
so long and Dieth's Shemeshka sword.
Meshka, yeah,
And so like if you kept the story going, but you put in 2 new people, what are you going to give the sword to somebody else? Are you just going to throw all that in the garbage? You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's so weird because I watched the show. I started watching it because Chris Perkins was running it. And now Chris didn't, this just fell into his lap,
Yeah.
this thing.
Oh yeah.
And it really sucks, like big time. It just,
Honestly, yeah, I feel really bad for, I mean, Heidi and Ross, obviously, but also Chris and Nate and Anna. I mean, I don't know how much they might have known or not,
uh-huh.
but still, like, to be a DM and have that happen to your campaign, like after you've like very carefully woven all this together, or as a player in that campaign, after like pouring your heart and soul into a show, and then to have like it's such a breach of like the social contract of the game, like the base thing that makes the game work. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, honestly.
Okay. I'm going to probably have to just jump ahead to catch up with the comments, but Graham S says it's very unlikely to me that the show will continue. And then Psionics the Hedgehog says it's definitely done. And Lucas says it's going to be dice and half a camera now. I can't believe that the show might be done.
I know.
People think that's what the consensus is in the chat, is that the show is done, and like was this the last episode of Dice Camera Action?
Oh my
That's
god, can you
crazy.
imagine?
That's crazy.
We didn't even finish Dragonized.
They didn't finish Dragonized. All right.
Man,
Luca says it might be good to integrate the remaining half into a new stream. Yeah, Anna and Nate, right?
mm-hmm.
And Chris. And 2 new people?
I would love to see Chris run another game, honestly.
Graham says Wizards of the Coast have got plenty of other streams. I don't think we'll see a direct replacement. That would be a bummer to not see Chris run anything.
Yeah.
Ravenna wants things to continue on as it was. Okay, I also want to know, does anybody think that this is just going to blow over? Because we've got some time. They're going to do the Descent, and then there's another week off. So we're looking at like 3 weeks of no show. Do you think people will forget this thing or move on to something else? No?
No,
Shauna,
I think
you
it's.
don't think so?
I don't think the people who like are fans of the show or whatever will move on, because I mean, especially if it's something you like a lot of fans do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like this is the thing that got a lot of people into D&D. We've talked about it a shit ton on here. Like that's a big deal.
Lord Arctic Frost, Descent. Oh, it's a publicity stunt for this Descent. I wish.
Oh my god!
I think it's a terrible publicity stunt. But
oh my lord.
Dan Bogey says, I don't think the Descent will suffer without the DCA crew. That's true. There's a billion shows going on at the Descent. For me, though, the thing I would look forward to the most at the Descent was any Dice Camera Action related stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it, I mean, I like the show. I'm a fan of the show.
I mean, I have a feeling that the D&D live thing's gonna be fucking awesome regardless. But yeah, I mean, the reason that I watched it the last 2 years was because of DCA,
Yeah.
Hey, Remisis! I suppose an alternative is to do a time skip. Oh. Remisis always has good stuff. All right, I suppose an alternative is to do a time skip. Maybe have Dieth and Strix get pulled into another plane and assume they got together and had a child and have a new person play that child alongside. I think that's an awesome idea, Remisis. That is definitely something I would like to see.
You could continue the story like that. It's true.
Kids being run by the ones left, right? Ravenna. I don't know if it will blow over, but I sure hope so. Bad 007. Can't see the show. Oh man, I can't see the show continuing either. I'd love to see Chris run another game, maybe a new cast, or keep Anna and Nate. No way this just blows over with the allegations. Oh, about the underage people with Jared.
Yeah.
This is the worst. This is horrible. Thank you for all the. I really appreciate that everybody's making very
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chat's
comments,
awesome.
That's good.
civil comments.
Thank you.
It's very cool of you, and I appreciate it.
Thanks.
And I also appreciate the mods jumping in today. That's
Yeah. Thank
very
you.
nice.
Thank you for.
All right, what else we got here? Oh, I'm getting depressed. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that nudes stuff. I don't want to read that. Okay. Oh, I'm at the bottom. All right. So, Chloe, thank you for jumping in. By the way, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to
Yep.
ignore minors. You're right. It's true.
Yeah.
Do we? Oh, Therolander 666. Do we know that they've been uninvited to Descent? No. Right.
Nothing yet.
Somebody did
Two,
ask
yeah.
Chris Perkins a question on Twitter
Yeah.
today, but he did not answer it about what
Hmm.
was going to happen with all of this. I think they're probably discussing it right now
Yeah.
because this is a new thing, right?
Yeah.
We're in a world where D&D streams are a thing, and some of the people on the streams are famous enough that this kind of
Yeah.
thing is an issue. So this is like kind of going to set the precedent for what comes next. I never thought ever. Oh, I'm gonna watch a Chris Perkins campaign. I never thought that this kind of thing would
This would happen in it? Yeah.
crop up. It's
Boy, oh
so
boy.
weird to me.
It's kind of like all of today has felt like it doesn't feel like it's real, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to bed and just haven't woken up yet.
Yeah. Dan Bogey, Chris has been DMing for a long time, and he's probably dealt with group implosion before. New group with some of the old mixed in. New story.
And in his 4E DM's experience column, like he talked about players or player characters with like these big stories that he as a DM was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a big deal later on. And then either the character dies or the player moves away or leaves the game or something. And how do you introduce a new character into that? Or how do you work around that? And he seemed to do a pretty good job of it in his 4E campaigns. I mean, obviously nothing like this, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it is something you have to deal with. I know my whole deal was in my D&D group. And I mean, by the end of that, we just kind of kicked her out and played and had fun on our own. So,
Yeah.
you find a way, I guess.
Psionics the Hedgehog says, I think you are all underestimating how serious this is, especially with the Snapchat. Wizards and Chris can't associate with Diath or Strix in any official capacity. Well, it was Jared who had the Snapchat stuff.
Yeah.
Not Holly. I mean, I don't know. But
Yeah.
no, you're probably right. Yeah. The whole thing is going to change probably. Ravenna, this is why you don't. This is interesting. This is why you don't put your lives online. Social media is cancer, and so is call out culture. Oh, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost Shauna. Okay.
Yeah, she said she's gonna piece out of this discussion for a little bit. So.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll bring you back in.
It's a tough one, so I don't blame her.
All right. This is why you don't put your lives online. Social media is cancer, and so is call out culture. I mean, he's a YouTube guy,
Yeah. Gosh. I mean, so is Holly. I mean, I know I originally started watching DCA because Holly was in it.
Really? That's why?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Now here we are today.
Fix the boxes real quick. Okay, what else we got here? We'll do another few minutes of this before we talk about episode 141.
Yeah.
Bad 007. First episode. Well, oh no. This was the first episode of Waffle Talk I've been able to drop in on.
I'm so sorry.
All right, well, sorry this was the one you had to see. Gong Zero. wish I had some mind bleach. Yes, I agree.
Hmm.
Scotty, I mentioned a year ago when DCA was starting to get big. This would plot. Here's the weird thing when you're talking about the popularity of the show.
Hmm.
Like, this scandal might make the show more famous, right?
It's true. I mean,
But who knows what that means?
that's not necessarily a good thing,
Yeah.
but you know,
Graham says Wizards of the Coast deleted all those Force Gray videos after. Oh, did they really?
yeah, Chris
After
Hardwick.
what's Chris Hardwick? Allegations were made about him and his girlfriend. Hopefully, the DCA archive doesn't disappear. Well, I can tell you that I run the Dice Camera Action Wikipedia, and so that'll be there no matter what. So you can read about
Yeah,
it, and you can watch episodes of Waffle Talk where we talked about it.
that's true. You can get the whole experience right here.
You can hear us talk about the show that you can't
Yeah.
watch, so that might be fun for you.
And
Tanya,
go
ahead.
I know, as far as like videos with Jared and Holly, I know that a couple weeks ago now, the Game Grumps like deleted all the videos of Jared on their channel, So like I'm I, I'm honestly kind of curious how it all played out.
Mhm.
Like I'm not so curious that I want to know, but I also want to know, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
One of those things.
yeah. Hey, long shotist might draw attention to the DCA brand. Okay, I want to wrap this up. I'm feeling bad that Shauna.
Yeah.
So just as a final thing, everybody in the chat, if you can, just say yes or no. Okay. Are you still gonna watch Dice Camera Action after this? That's all I want to know. Just type yes or no if you can, please. There's a bit of a delay here, so they're not going to hear that for. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Not with Jared and Holly. Okay. No, probably not. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Maybe. Oh, boy. That's a mixed bunch of answers.
I know.
All right. Haven't watched much to begin with.
Well, I mean, okay, that's fair.
Not unless they start a new campaign. Not with Jared and Holly, to be honest. And yes, but without Jared. Wow. All right, everybody. So,
Oh boy.
is there anything else you want to say about this? Say it now, and then we're going to move on to episode 141.
Hold
Thanks
your
again,
peace.
everybody, for being so polite about the whole thing.
Yeah, really.
If there's a change of cast, boy.
Nicest Twitch chat I've ever seen.
It is.
Dang.
Dice Camera Action fans in general are really cool. Really nice people.
They are. It's true.
So,
Yeah.
it just makes sense that. All right. Okay, we're going to talk about episode 141. Is Shauna still there?
I think so. Yeah.
If you can.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm still here.
Sean, I'm sorry if we went on too long.
Oh no,
I didn't mean
it's
to
yeah.
bother you. All right.
it's my own thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. I know.
So, Shauna, do you want to recap this episode, or do you want one of us to do it?
Yeah, because I missed a little bit of a chunk in, so go ahead.
All right, I'll try to recap it. I'm going to probably miss a bunch of stuff, okay? So, this episode started where the group woke up in Troll Skull Manor, which has been trashed repeatedly. So, they actually slept in Paulton's, what is it, Leomund's secret hut, where it's basically like a dome, a protective dome. And everybody packed in there like they've done since season 2, Storm King's Thunder, with Waffles' his mom. And they all packed in there, and they woke up and they checked on the house. And then they decided to go deal with the Castlanters, who have the Stone of Galore. The Stone of Galore is the magic item that will tell them where the Vault of Dragons is. And in the Vault of Dragons is 500,000 gold. And there's a bunch of bad guys who want this. And there's a bunch of people who want the heroes to get that gold for them. Like the dwarves want it, Laeral Silverhand wants it, and then Jarlaxle wants it. Everybody wants it for their own reasons, and they really have had a really hard time with the Stone of Kalor, just trying to get it. And
True.
It's gone through so many hands at this point.
Since episode 91,
Mhm.
50 episodes later.
God.
I didn't anticipate it going as badly for the Scathlanders as it did, though. I was surprised.
So, yeah, they go to the Castellander's house, and Alice is there. And Alice is one of the guards who Diath knows. And there was an episode where they teamed up with Alice and solved crimes, and Alice was in it, Diath. And they go to the Castellanter estate, and they try to schmooze their way in. And Paulton was the stinging attorney, and they get in there, and it turns out that we had already learned this on a previous episode, that the Castellanter's kids were in trouble. One had already been turned into a chain devil. The other two were going to be turned into devils unless they got the 500,000 gold. Is that right?
Yeah.
From what I understand,
Was...
what they've told the Waffle crew anyway about their agreement with Asmodeus was that Asmodeus got them out of like financial hot water a couple years back or whatever. And so on their children's 10th birthday, they'll turn to devils or whatever. Unless the Castellanters pay 999,999 gold or whatever. And they have half of that, but they need the 500,000.
It wasn't a good deal predicated on increasing your family's prestige. Yeah. It doesn't really help if there are no heirs left because you've turned them into devils. It's pretty very nice. It's very dumb.
Not a good deal for you.
So
no,
they go inside, and there's a whole bunch of dead people. And it turns out that the chain devil was freed by Asmodeus, the ruler of the Nine Hells. And the chain devil killed everybody. And the group fought the chain devil. It was shooting its chains through the walls, and the group went up there. And they basically learned that the chain devil told them where the Vault of Dragons is. This is what the Stone of Glory was supposed to do. So what the chain devil told them was the Black Viper, a.k.a. Esvel Rajnar, who has been played multiple times by Vivid Vivka, one of the guest stars, had busted into the Castellanter estate and stolen his stone. The Castellanters are dead. The guards are dead. The helpers are dead. The two little kids are still alive, and the group was actually able to grab those kids. They're not dead. And the Chain Devil explained that Asmodeus told the Chain Devil it cannot hurt Strix. And it also said that Diath's name in Infernal translates to the Shard of Divinity.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Whoa.
Ooh, that's not good.
And so at the end, what happened? The group grabbed the kids, but then what was it at the very end? Do you remember? Alice threatened Diath. It turns out that Alice is a member
Turncoats,
of the cult.
Of course.
Is a member of the cult with Asmodeus. So, well, that was hard. But I got through it. Shauna makes it look easy. That was hard.
That a lot of times. You did so many times. But, yeah.
So, let's see. Where do you want to start? You want to start at the beginning? Oh, wait, let's see what they said. Ravenna says, Dadmodius.
Dadmodius, yeah. They have no money.
That's, yeah.
Right.
They don't even have money for pie making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they had money, man.
They were supposed to get that 50,000 for selling the robe, the robe of the Archmagi.
Yeah.
They never got it.
That's not, nope.
Yeah.
It's a vicious circle because their primary mode of game money was the pie shop.
Yeah.
But the house is in such a condition you can't make more pies, and they have no money for pies. I don't know if they can keep.
Let them be happy, Chris.
I don't know if they can even pay the coven anymore. It's this is a bad.
That's true. They can't pay the pies.
This is a bad scene.
The coven weren't sleeping in the hut, were they?
No, I think they have their own places.
Yeah. It would be funny if they packed everybody in, just to, squish them all in the hut.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What was it?
she need to buy supplies, right? I mean, they're out of money,
Hmm.
Yeah.
so they need that. Well, what is their plan for the 500,000 gold? Did they decide yet?
I think they're desperate. Let's just say it's.
I have a feeling that it'd probably go to the dwarves.
It has to go to the dwarves. Like,
Yeah. It's very personal. Whereas I don't think the other reasons that people want the gold for them as like a party like resonates enough with them as much as the dwarves do.
yeah.
I forgot in the beginning, Dieth had a dream about the dwarves.
Hmm.
He was trying to pull them up a mountain, but they fell
Yeah.
into
Oh,
Mygara's mouth.
yeah. What was it? Smith D. Will has a good comment. Now the cast hunters are dead. Can they just take what's left in the treasury? It's like I got the idea that like maybe as they were leaving, maybe they should have taken some of the cast hunter stuff so they could just pawn it and have a little bit of money.
You're right.
It's true.
Take a statue, anything.
You're right.
They need to eat. The kids need to eat.
They should go back
Just look
right
at this
away.
place.
Well, they're still there.
That's true, yeah.
They should definitely do that because they need money. There's probably like some kind
God,
of
They have
safe.
and they have 2 additional children now. So
Uh-huh.
Oh my
It's
god,
just
yeah.
Mhm.
2 kids.
Yeah, now they've got way too many kids to watch. Yeah, and
2
these are-
kids that maybe could turn into devils at any moment. So I don't know.
These are 2
Yeah.
evil children, probably.
No.
God, yeah. 5 children, 6 children, 6 children.
The children just multiply. It's crazy.
Hey, Chill Room, thanks for jumping in. Bank heist missions. The Castellaners, do they own a bank? I think that was mentioned once that they own one.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were like one of the big banking families in Waterdeep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remises.
that's right.
I wonder if the Castellaner kids would just automatically inherit their parents' fortune if the crew indeed adopt. Oh, wow! If the crew adopts them,
That's
they could use some of that money. That's pretty
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm
who's-
wondering what the line
Who's
line
gonna,
of succession's real inheritance.
so who's going to adopt them? Probably
Yeah.
Evelyn and Paulton, I guess.
The
That would
church,
make the most
the
sense.
Church of Lathander. Please
You
let
know-
it be the Church of Lathander.
Would they?
The church
Would they? Adoption? Would they require? Do they have to be a married couple to adopt?
You know,
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure Waterdeep has a pretty lax probably adoption thing.
Probably.
It takes all kinds of people. Yeah, you know, make family.
Chill Room. Ocean's 11 D&D would be incredible. Agreed.
Ocean 11's D&D never goes well.
No.
I have seen way too many heists that like we got this plan. Damn it.
Chloe says.
Someone.
Chloe says, "Aren't all D&D games some form of Ocean's 11?"
Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Jarlaxle is the only Dragon Heist villain left alive.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I'm honestly kind of surprised he just off the cast lanterns off screen.
That was
Yeah.
intense. It was like I
It
wasn't
surprised
expecting.
me.
Yeah.
I thought they'd at least be alive to. Ooh, yeah, it was.
I
That
know.
was a surprise.
Smith D. Will says there is definitely an adoption guild in Waterdeep. Yeah, so they could do that. Look at Troopa. If they adopt the Castellan kids, could it be somehow spun in such a way that if Simon turns 10, he's deviled as well?
Oh my god.
That would actually be awesome if they did that. That would be really cool.
Imagine
Yeah.
having a devil son.
I would like that.
They have a.
Well,
They have
besides
Squidly.
Squidly don't count.
Yeah,
Squidlies.
that's true. Speaking of children, says Scotty, apparently their mission is to take care of Asmodeus' son. Do you think the son
Child.
is
Was
Simon?
it son or was it child? Was it? Did it
I
have
think it was child.
child?
I thought they
Yeah.
were. I assumed
Hmm.
that the Chain Devil talking about the group as the guardian of his child. I was assuming that he meant Strix.
I assumed that too. I
Maybe.
think some people were saying like possibly. Some people were throwing it out there that it was maybe Squidly, but Squidly's way too chaotic. Squidly's
That's what I was
100%
thinking.
chaos.
Too, yeah.
I could totally see that like as a Perkinsonian twist. That the
Hmm.
child is not Strix, but somebody else.
God, it's just like he's too. Asmodeus, I hate to say it, could not handle Squidly. I don't think Squidly's too much. Squidly's too much.
I would like it best though. I think if it was Strix. That to me, that's
Yeah.
the coolest
Mhm.
option.
Well, yeah, I think you always have to make the PCs kind of the center of the story at the end of the day.
Mm,
I mean, they're the main characters of the freaking show.
mm.
So don't make the chosen one unless you agree as a group to make chosen one someone else. You know, make the chosen one of the characters, please.
Just drags them in further and further deeper into a pit of despair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dan Bogey, depends on which Asmodeus backstory he pulls on, because that one has a few. Well, I would guess it would be the stuff from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and probably
Hmm.
whatever. The Descent, I don't know if you saw this, but apparently it's been confirmed
Yes.
that
Yes.
that is on the cover, that's Zerial.
Yeah.
Zerial, the
I was.
ruler
Yeah.
of the first layer of hell.
Yeah. Because I thought it was. I thought it was like. I think I said when they announced it was a Vario, but yeah, hell, that's kind of cool that it's.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. That makes you
I
happy.
haven't read their Zerial in a while, but I know the picture of her was different. So is this like, was
Yeah.
that Zerial before? Like
I
she
don't
was an
know.
angel
I'm
definitely.
before?
curious now. Like I'm way more curious about the Descent now that it's like Zariel. That's interesting.
And is it a Nine Hells adventure?
Oh, I hope
Do you know?
so. There's so many good devils in that that aren't they haven't like necessarily taken advantage of in the Modern Kindness book.
Hmm.
Some of those are really cool. I hope they get a chance to like put them in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I have been hoping. I always wanted to see a D&D adventure where you go through each of the 9 layers of hell.
That'd
And
be
if
really
this
cool.
is called the Descent, maybe
I
that's
mean,
the
what
deal.
better time? Yeah.
Just it's a high level adventure, and in every there's 9 chapters. You got to go all the way to Asmodeus's realm of Nessus. It's crazy. That would be a
Based
fun
on the
one.
stuff from Mordenkainen's about like the trial between Asmodeus and like the other lawful factions with Primus as like the arbitrator,
Mhm.
um, and then Zariel being one of the angels who like kind of made it so the trial was in Asmodeus's favor before she was a devil. It's very interesting kind of
There's
thing there.
let me find that thing. Where's that?
So I hope that this kind of would explore that, you know.
Because they
And it's
have
also interesting to have Zariel like actually be a character now too,
Mhm.
yeah.
because she's never really been one besides.
Prior to fifth, she was
Yeah,
barely mentioned. So when I made Americall's Guide to Devils on the DM's Guild, I
yeah,
I made up a whole bunch of Zerial stuff.
yeah.
I did like a whole thing, and I had an artist, designer, and everything. And so what I made isn't exactly what they did, but it's fun. It was actually very. I learned a lot by comparing what I came up with what they came up with, and what they
Hmm.
came up with was really cool. So it was a very interesting
Yeah.
experiment.
You're doing the same thing I'm looking through the
I
one kind of
think
book.
the most I heard about Zariel before fifth edition was in uh, Tyrants of the Nine Hells from 3.5. They
Mhm.
mentioned that Baal, the leader who took over from Zariel originally on the first layer of Hell, uh, like ate her flesh or whatever to like gain her power
Yeah,
and had her chained up.
and it kept growing back.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And
Rem-
that she was the source of the fireballs that like rain from the sky of Avernus, right? Yeah.
Ramisa says Asmodeus has said he wasn't Strix's father when he was asked, and he
True.
said the whole crew were their guardians, so it can't be Strix herself. But I think making it Squidly, given his looks, would be too obvious.
And it
Yeah.
Could
is a
it be?
difficult question to answer, that one.
Unless it was like that'd be cool if it was one of the Chickenfoot Coven.
Oh
That
my.
You know,
would be pretty funny.
I really like how he goes out of his way to incorporate them into stuff, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a one-off thing.
Yeah.
They're
I
part
like
of the
that.
campaign. I really like that.
Oh yeah.
What else we got in here?
Yeah.
Dante, yeah, Chill Room. You got it. Dante's Inferno, but a dungeon run. You're right.
Yeah.
That would be freaking awesome. All right. Devil May Cry options. Each of the bosses transforms into a demonic weapon. That would be awesome.
Pretty cool.
Smith, having a chance to involve more demons and angels in a main storyline has me so excited for good moral storytelling without relying on alignment charts. Yeah, you're right.
Please, yeah.
All right, what else we got in this show? Let's see. Dieth wanted to go to the Castle Lanterns, and he actually asked for help, which shocked the group. They were happy that he.
I mean, that's. I think he realizes that maybe he's over his head. Like he had good reasons for bringing everybody that he brought in the Waffle crew with him. It's like, it's a little bit like the whole like, infernal aspect of it is like a little bit beyond his understanding. Like it's not his specialty. So like bringing Evelyn, who kind of like knows the opposite. Like she's powerful in that way. She knows of them. And then Strix, who can't be helped. And then Paulton that is good at like talking. I think gave good reasons.
Wow, Richard Hayward says, I'm going to drop out now, folks. I'll look up some other shows on this channel to adopt as my new show. Well, I can recommend. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. If you're tired of that.
Is that
That's all. What a bummer, man. All right. Remisis says that in a recent lore you should know, Chris did talk about Zerial.
Yep.
Dang. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch that because he's probably telling you stuff that's in the Descent.
Yeah, they've had some stuff lately.
I did see, I didn't watch it myself, but I know that someone on Reddit mentioned that in one of those lore you should know, they mentioned the Dark Eight, and I guess Chris said that we'll be meeting a new member soon or something.
Of the Dark Eight, the Pit Fiends?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Awesome.
The Generals of the Blood War.
That's awesome. So they're really doing this. They're doing devil stuff.
Devil stuff. Yeah. I love devil stuff. Deals. I think personally, like, I think the devil stuff is more interesting than like demon stuff, just because like they're very tricky.
I don't know. I like demons.
But like making deals and stuff. I think that's.
Demons can make deals too. They're just.
Yeah.
They're a lot more. Tricky about them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another thing that happens in the show. The group wanted to find the Stone of Galore, so they cast Locate Object. They weren't able to detect it. So their theory was that it might have been in a bag of holding. But I think we later learned that it was probably because the range was, I think, 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
And the Black Viper had already stolen it and was probably kind of far away. But the other thing is, it can't be detected by that kind of magic, right?
Nope.
So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like, kind of non-traceable thing. It's
Drinking this grapefruit, and sometimes it smells kind of like an armpit, but sometimes it's good. It's very strange. Anyway, so they tried to locate object. No dice. No dice. Action. Chain Devil. The Chain Devil pulled Paulton up through the ceiling. They learned that the Black Viper took the stone again. Oh, so. Okay, where's the Vault of Dragons? It's in an old tower in the Sea Ward near the Temple of Gond, which is the location that I picked for my Dragon Heist campaign. So I know all about it and the cool stuff that's in there, and I really like it because that's why I picked it. So now I'm really interested
it's a cool one,
Yeah, I have no idea.
And so the 3 keys.
Shauna.
You have no idea?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the book. I haven't looked at like the spoilers for the books. I'm like, cool, everything's new.
I don't want to give spoilers to the DCA fans.
I will say it has something to do with Daggalt Neverember, who we haven't really heard about on DCA, honestly. Even though he's the dude who stole all the money.
I do hope there's a thing where you get to at least get to punch him at some point.
Oh my god. Yes, please.
Like this is all his fault.
I want to kick his ass.
Mhm.
Hate that dude.
3 keys. Animated construct. And these
Hmm.
keys are keys in kind of a sigil sense where
Yeah.
it's not a physical key. It's you just need 3 things to magically unlock the door, right? So one is an animated construct, one is a beholder eye stalk, and one is a gift from a queen.
Hmm.
Now I know
Yeah.
the group Strix has beholder eye stalks, right?
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah.
gave one. Yep.
Okay. So
They
they
also
got
gave
that.
one away. Yep.
Now,
They have
the
Albie too.
They have lots of options for beholder knights. There are a bunch of dead beholders, and
That's true. Yeah.
they have no shortage of dead beholder eye stalks.
Now the animated construct, do they have anything right now?
Ah,
Because Simon's a real boy
I
now.
know.
Simon's a
I'm
real
gonna say
boy. Yeah, I was
with
gonna say
Simon
that's.
now,
Did they ever run into a nimble right? They did.
on Jarlaxle's ship. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't know where that would be.
they
I
don't
mean,
have it. Yeah,
Although
I mean that could probably we can probably get a construct pretty easily. I imagine.
they probably
he
have
did mention the
spells.
Temple of Gond is like right next to it.
Yeah, just have to get it with
Oh,
money.
Scott brings up a good point. The dancing construct in the Castellan.
You're
Ah!
right. You're right, Scott.
Yes,
They
Yeah.
could just
right,
take that.
yeah.
Very
They
good
could
point.
take that. They could take that. And then the gift from a queen. So
Queen,
the queen
yeah.
that they know is Laryl Silverhand.
Mm-hmm.
Did Laryl give them a gift? She gave Dia something, didn't she?
She
That-
gave Dia something.
I bet Remisis knows. Look at Remisis says the dance instructor mannequin could potentially. Yep.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Troll player.
And
I've seen.
the-
Oh, thank you. I've seen Sean's RP voice. He'd be a great interim replacement. I think I would die of terror
It's
if I was ever.
Absolutely.
If I appeared for 5 seconds on a stream with Chris Perkins, I think I would die of sweat. I would sweat to death. Let's see. The Raven Queen. Oh, Remisis!
I know.
The Raven Queen
That's
gave
good.
Paulton
Oh,
the hand.
Oh, that's
Drew.
right. We
A
haven't had
gift
Andrew in a
from
while.
queen.
We haven't had Andrew come up in a while. That's true.
Really good.
You're right. You solved the whole show. If Remisis was on the show, it would be over.
Mm.
They would have got the Stone of Galore on episode 93.
Oh my gosh.
Smith, great point. Frost and Smith. Laryl gave Diath the captain's badge.
Yep. I was thinking,
Right.
yeah.
You're right.
They have a bunch of things then. They have. They just
Yeah,
need the
fine.
contract.
At this point. Shoot.
Okay. Got a question for you here.
Yo.
Diath's name in Infernal means Shard of Divinity. So we know. Okay, what we know about Diath is he's the last Lorcatha, an angelic family with an angelic lineage that was at one time in war with the Skizixes, tieflings, who Strix is related to.
Yeah.
Right? So now Diath is the last one, and his name means Shard of Divinity. Does that mean he's the descendant of a god? Is that what that means?
You know, I didn't think about it before right this second, but in 4th edition there was this this like celestial race who I forget their name. They're like the Lumi or something like that.
Right. Yep,
who were like a race of people of a goddess who like blew up, and like they were trying to get all her shards back together. I didn't even think of that. It could be something like that, honestly. Or it could be something like, yeah, Diath is like almost like a Tenebris type of situation where he's like
vestige,
fragment or vestige, yeah, of like a god who did get destroyed or whatever, and like someone's putting it back together. I don't know.
That's a good theory.
That's a really. There's a lot of potential there, honestly.
In Scales of War in 4th edition, there was an NPC, a diva named Amyria, and what she was she was a shard of Bahamut, the good god of dragons, and she had amnesia, and she didn't know because Bahamut created Amyria just in case he died. If Tiamat killed him, Amyria could be used to bring Bahamut back to life. But in order to do that, Amaria had to walk on this bridge and pass through to this nether realm and be gone forever, but it would bring Bahamut back to life. So it could be, I don't know if Chris, I don't know how involved he was with Scales of War, but if that was an idea he heard about, maybe he's using some variation of it, you know. And also, and Shemeshka has a piece of his soul in a box in her house, and this would explain why it's so valuable, because he's a shard of something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I've always had that question. Why does Shemeshka want a piece of his soul? What can you do with a piece of somebody's soul?
Gosh. Yeah.
I mean,
but like, what can you do with a shard of divinity? I assume you could give yourself godlike power in some way.
Man, yeah.
Form. Do a ritual or something.
Or I think for Shemeshka might just be like, this is a thing of power that she has in possession. I think just having it, maybe it's like
That's true. She does.
It's just like a standing item of like reminder of her status and power.
Troll player. I've seen Sean on the Greyhawk channel with Opera Geek, Shane, and Kempestra. Their synergy was hot. It is true that my character is dating Lux. So.
Oh my god.
How many feet can Odos run?
50 feet. And last episode he did softly pull splinters from Lux's back. So
nice.
My. Frost. He's divine soul, so he's also missing part of his soul. Shemeshka has the missing shard. He's a divine soul. Scotty Hood, Planescape adventure I just read called Diva's Spark, where an angel removes its spark and puts it into a human. That might be it.
That might be something.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Wow.
Possible.
You might have it. Chill Room. There are binding rituals, I'm sure, where you can control a being, true, with a piece of their soul. But Shemeshka it already has a good grasp on Diath.
Yeah, she described him. I think the way she described him, he's like, he's not powerful, but I think he has value. It's like, I think she sees him as like an investment, like weirdly, the way she described him, like, this is my 1% of 1%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at Troopa. If Diath has a shard of divinity in him, then he might be the key to smuggling a deity into Sigil. Another awesome idea. An awesome idea. That is great idea.
True.
Or like, it's something, maybe to even like, it's one of those things that can be used to tip the scales in like the blood war and stuff like that. So like, just Shemeshka having it, like, it's like having leverage over like higher powers.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, Yugoloth's, their whole thing in like Planescape was that they were supposedly manipulating the blood war and like controlling how it moved, you know?
Yeah.
Whether that was them bullshitting or not, it was kind of up to the DM, I guess. But you know,
she was like an arbiter between like a go between for them, right? The way that it was described. Or like she helped tend the like broker it.
The Ashford thing.
Yeah, she helped broker it. So like she's handed that in some pretty powerful pies there. Yeah.
And look at Drupa's smuggling a deity into Sigil comment. Just made me remember that Asmodeus is a deity now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
who knows? There was that Chris made was it Penumbra or something like that? That's the thing about like the child with that becomes a god or is in the process of becoming a god, and it's like, what do you do with that?
Has a little birthmark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we've gotten through episode 141. So so the deal from here is there's no dice camera action next week.
Got some breaks because of the descent next week, which is
17th, right?
Yeah.
Through the 19th.
Yeah, it's there compared to last year. There's a lot of streams, so like there's
are
4 channels of streams going on like that weekend, so it's going to be a lot of good like D&D.
My plan here is I'm going to watch. I mean, there's 4 channels going at once. I can't watch it all, but I'm going to just watch as much as I can. So Friday, I'm going to watch as much as I can, and I'll write about it on my blog. And then Saturday morning, I'm going to do a Descent show like this Waffle Talk. It'll be a half hour or an hour. And if I can get Dylan and Shauna to do that, I will. If not, I'll get whoever I can get, right?
Because it's Friday. Friday is the day where they have most of the is that the day where they have most of the Descent specific, or is it throughout the weekend?
Oh, boy. I think it's kind of throughout the weekend, but I mean, we'll get the announcement for whatever the product is. I think would be on Friday.
And that's probably going to be the main thing is once that first day.
Unless they do a Mad Mage thing on like Saturday night again.
Oh yeah, look. Yeah. All right, so
I'll do. My plan right now is I'm going to do one Descent talk about the Descent show on Saturday, one on Sunday, and probably one on Monday, if there's stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean.
So we'll be around, and then the week after that, there's no dice camera action. And after that, I guess we'll see what happens with the show, and we'll just see what they announce, and we'll kind of go from there. But I just want to say that if this is the last Waffle Talk as we know it, that I really appreciate everybody in the chat for making comments, the people who watch, and Dylan and Shauna and Rena. I can't do it without you, and you make it really good. And just thank you so much for doing it with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, worst case, we can just keep playing D&D together on the weekends. And if Chris runs something else, we could do a show about that, or whatever, or just pick some other show, or just not do it, whatever, who knows. But I just want to say that if this is the last Waffle Talk, that I really appreciate everybody for checking it out and watching and saying all the nice things. And I mean, I don't know if we've ever had a troll in the chat ever in my life, which is amazing.
Good.
So,
thank you.
So is there anything, pretend this is the last episode, is there anything either of you want to say, Shauna or Dylan?
I just say despite of this show got me mostly back in D&D. I've met, including people in the chat, some really awesome people that we haven't met, including all y'all. So just that, be cool to each other.
Dylan?
Well, I will say, if it wasn't for a mix of Sean's blog and DCA, I never would have met my girlfriend. So
ooh, wow.
That's a pretty big personal thing for me. And honestly, I've made so many friends, for various reasons because of that, So, I mean, I don't think I was ever like a super fan of DCA the way some people are, but I really enjoy the show, honestly. And I love doing this. I love talking with Sean and Shauna and Rena when she's on, it's always incredibly fun for me to talk about D&D. I love D&D. Go out and play much D&D, my friends.
All right. Thanks, everybody, so much. And I'll see you for the Descent. So take it easy, and we'll see you then, okay? Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, all.